welcome to American Dream Latin Souls. I'm Daniel Ortiz, and today my guest is entrepreneur Celina Aldaz-Grife. Celina, welcome to our program.
Thank you for having me here.
Celina, you have a very unique business model, and what I'm excited about for you is that you've taken part of the Hispanic Latino culture. It's very traditional and made into a business, and it's an exciting program. So you are the owner of Celina's Biscochitos.
Yes.
Okay. So before we get into your business, Selena, tell me, what is your American dream and what does it mean to you?
To me, my American dream is just to determine my own destiny, to make a stable financial environment for my family, to help provide for my family, and to just take my passion and do something with it, do something that I love and enjoy it.
Passion and family, that's like two Latino traits. You know,
Yes.
you would describe especially a Latina, you would
Yes.
describe a Latina, passion
Yes.
and family are part of it. And so you've taken those core values and emoted those into a business. So tell me, what is your business?
I produce Biscochitos, and we manufacture them at our facility. I've grown from being a small business.
How long now?
We've been in business since 2010. We started in an incubator commercial kitchen, which is shared with other people starting out brand new. We started just during the holidays because New Mexicans know that Biscochitos, that's the biggest time of year.
I was going to ask you about that. Our audience is national, so for
Yes.
somebody that's living in the East Coast or somewhere else in the country that didn't grow up with our tradition, what is a Biscochito?
A Biscochito is a cookie that is spiced with anise seed, brandy, cinnamon, and it's very personal to most New Mexicans. It goes back centuries here in New Mexico. Actually,
I was going to ask you, what's the origin of a Biscochito?
Spain.
Okay.
It's my understanding that in Spain they originated, they were called mantecados there, they were brought here by the Spaniards, and it just progressed from there and became a, very big tradition here in New Mexico. And so for here, most New Mexicans, they would use them for celebrations, for Christmas, weddings,
Christmas, yes.
meetings. Any time you were going to celebrate, you'd have Biscochitos and wine, or Biscochitos and brandy, whatever, but they go by different names in New Mexico as well. Biscochos, Biscochitos.
All right. So what developed how did this develop into a business? How did you decide you want to be in the Biscochito business?
What happened was I was selling real estate, had been in it for 15 years and was making them for my clients at the holidays, just, for fun. Housing market crashed, and I had always had people asking if they could purchase them. And I decided I needed extra money during the holidays, and so I started making them out of my home for people that I knew. And then I found this incubator kitchen, and I decided, okay, well, we're getting so many orders for them, I can't produce them in my kitchen anymore. So I went to the incubator kitchen. We just graduated from there.
Now, this incubator kitchen, this is like a government funded
Yes,
program?
you pay them a rent per hour, and you work out of there, and you grow your business without having all this overhead. You kind of see if what you have is something that the
federally funded
public
program
wants.
or state funded?
I think it's through the county.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they just happen to have a kitchen?
They just happen to have a kitchen. I found out about it through an organization that helps out new business owners or people who would like to move forward with their business idea. And so I wrote a business plan and just decided to go forward with it. And last year I went full-time, gave up my real estate license, and just went in 100%. And I'm just loving it because I can create new things with Biscochitos, and I could do new things with it, and it's mine. It's mine, and I feel really good about it and feel really happy about it.
Okay, great. So, well, that's what entrepreneurship is about. It's about following your passion and being happy and doing something that you're passionate about and that you love, and ultimately, ideally, make money as a result. So tell us about the manufacturing process. I think we've got some photos of your kitchen, and I know you said you evolved. You started off in a kitchen in the incubator with that government entity, and I think we've got some photos here. What are we seeing here?
That's part of the manufacturing process, just mixing the dough. We roll out all of our cookies. We actually hand cut every cookie that we make. So
Is that
here
right?
in New Mexico, you can find other Biscochitos, but the charm of ours is that we still hand cut it like it's a home style Biscochito. So that's our process, or part of our process there.
Now this is a family business, I understand.
Yes, it's a family business. That's actually my mom. She's doing cinnamon and sugar there in that photo.
So is the family involved in your business?
My mom and my husband are involved. My husband is the co-owner, and him and I actually first started out in that commercial kitchen there, and we would make them together, and we started out by hand rolling. Then we found that there was a machine we could use that would roll them out for us. So we still hand cut everyone, but we use a machine now to roll them out for us, which makes the process a little bit easier since we're producing so much more product.
Do you have a secret recipe or a unique recipe?
It's a secret recipe. It's my grandma's recipe.
Okay.
And my grandma was very well known for her food.
Okay, well, here we have a photo of your grandma. That's not a
Yes.
traditional Hispanic grandma, is it?
This is my grandma Maggie, and she had quite the personality. She was known for her cooking.
What year is this, do you know?
Probably somewhere in the 1940s. 1940s around, early 1930s maybe.
Okay.
So, but yeah, everybody knew her for her food. I mean, she could make anything, and I mean, I remember she would, when I was a kid, I didn't really get to try her Biscochitos, unfortunately, but I did get to have some sopapillas she made when we were kids, and she would put cinnamon and sugar on them, and that was a real treat as a kid. But everybody knew her for her food.
So her recipe for Biscochitos has been passed down from generations.
Yes.
Was it hers originally, or did she get it from her mother or grandmother? Do you know?
I know it goes back, and it was probably carried on through the family. So yeah.
Okay. What generation Hispanic are you? Do you know? Mexico?
Oh gosh, I can't even tell you. My sister and I have actually done the genealogy and studied it, and as far as I know, we can go back to Spain with my dad's side of the family, the Aldaz last name, and so it goes all the way back there. My mom's family, same thing. We've found all the way back to Spain, so hundreds of years my family has lived here.
Generations and generations?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what drives you as an entrepreneur? Let me go a step back. Has the seed of entrepreneurship, was that sown early? Did you have, can you remember in your childhood? And the reason I ask that is because I believe entrepreneurs are born and not made. And so usually, an entrepreneur that's a business owner as an adult, usually as a kids, they're cutting weeds or mowing lawns or selling lemonade or something.
Yeah. So I guess you could say I found a passion for cooking when I was younger. When my parents divorced, my stepmom, she was wonderful. She cooked so good. I mean, her food was just wonderful. And I would watch her cook all the time. And, my mom, she was working 2 jobs. And so I started making dinner for my mom, and I started cooking for her. And then
You're how old?
I was probably in middle school, so I was probably about maybe 13, 14.
So when most kids are hanging out at the mall or on the phone, you were cooking.
I was cooking, and
I knew there was a pattern there. There's always
Okay. So I started cooking with my mom, and my sister and I would cook together occasionally, and we'd make lots of messes. I've always had a passion for cooking. I enjoy it, and
Did you ever think of starting a restaurant or selling, being in the business of cooking of some sort?
I think once I got married, and I was in real estate at the time, I still enjoyed cooking all the time, and we would have people over and I'd cook for them, and I started to wonder if I didn't have something. Maybe I'm in the wrong field here, because everybody would say, oh, you should sell your salsa, you should sell those Biscochitos, oh, why don't you make cakes, why don't you have a bakery, or they would always ask me, but I just didn't think that I was right for it. And then once I kind of started seeing that more and more people are wanting what I'm doing.
A lot of entrepreneurs get into business to the back end, I guess, for lack of a better word, and that means that they start off, and this is ideally, they have a hobby, something that they're passionate about, that they don't even think about making money, and eventually that is a business and ever consider it because they're consumed about the passion. It's not about the money, it's about the passion, isn't
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, I could have a bakery, I could make cakes. I've made wedding cakes and birthday cakes for family members, and it's just something I enjoy doing. But that's the one thing that I decided, even though it's my passion and I like doing it, I won't put it into a business because it takes away from it. On the other hand, with the Biscochitos, I love it. I'm enjoying it. It's a simple thing.
I was going to ask you, why did you set on the business of Biscochitos?
Just because I noticed that there wasn't a real market for it. If you are from New Mexico, you'll find that you can find a lot of Biscochitos, but they're more commercialized. Mm-hmm. They're not made the traditional way. It's a lard-based cookie that has cinnamon, sugar, aniseed, and brandy, and most of the time they're hand cut. When you find them commercially, they're put through a cookie press. They're made with shortening, which changes the complete texture of the cookie. It's not a melt in your mouth texture anymore. It's more like a biscuit. Mm-hmm. And ours are not that way. And so I found that we had a product that a lot of people couldn't find. And so it just seemed natural to go into that versus making cakes, and everybody can do that. Right. But not everybody
has
a knack for Biscochitos, so.
Yeah. And you specialize, and that's one of the keys to success in business. Is a lot of people and tend to be business owners, as distinct from entrepreneurs. They want to be all things to all people, sell all kinds of stuff, and it takes discipline to say, no, I'm going to be the best at what I do. Mm-hmm. One thing, even if it's a simple Biscochito. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what's the scope of your business now?
So now, I mean, we do sell Biscochitos, but we've taken our Biscochitos and we make them with a flair now. We found that there's a market for people who would want a green chili pecan Biscochito or a red chili Biscochito or lemon.
Now, these are just private individuals or these companies?
No, we manufacture them for many people. We can do it for...
Now tell me your scope. I mean, who are you selling it to? What's the stores, or how wide is this business now?
We sell a wholesale, so we do sell to stores. We sell to corporations, many corporations that we work with. We have private people that want to purchase their product for their child's weddings.
What are some of the corporations that are buying your Biscochitos?
We have Intel that works with us closely. We've worked with Verizon. We've worked with Coca-Cola for their parties and events that they do. We work with New Mexico Mutual here. They order from us in large quantities as well.
So you obviously have developed a reputation. How did that happen?
We do a lot of shows. We do a lot of events.
What kind of shows?
We do the National Fiery Food Show here in Albuquerque. Okay. We do a lot of the wine festivals. We do all
so you are doing marketing, and I want to talk about that a lot.
Exactly.
Because you can have, there's that saying, you can build better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door, which is not true. Mm-hmm. People have to know about the mousetrap in the first place. So tell me about your marketing plan. Because you actually did a business plan,
yes.
You said, when you went into the incubator. I think that's one of the requirements, isn't it?
It is.
Because they don't want just anybody going in there, and you need to really think this thing through.
Exactly.
So, okay, let me back up. Tell me, this is usually not the most fun for entrepreneurs, is writing that business plan, right?
No, that wasn't fun.
but you learn from it, because I've done a few, and it's like, wow, I'm glad I did this. Now you understand the process. So tell me, because I want our audience to know, anybody who wants to start a business or thinks of becoming an entrepreneur, that we can talk about the passion, you can talk about the sales and the fun stuff, but here's where the rubber meets the road. You need to have this part of it. So tell me about the business plan.
So the business plan, it actually just started out as it was just going to be direct sales, just direct to customers, and that's all we were going to do. What we found was our business plan has changed several times and progressed. It's evolved. Okay. As we've learned more about the business, as we've learned more about where our customers are coming from, we're finding that we've ended up opening up a shop, which was not really part of the plan. We really just wanted to have a small commercial kitchen that we were going to bake out of, and that's how we were going to work. But it has since evolved, and now we have a shop. The events all came about because we found that rather than doing traditional advertising, we could do events, we could make money in doing those events, but we would also meet a thousands of customers who are interested in our product, and we would find out more about what they want and what they're asking for as well. And so that would give me more education through that end. But our business plan has really changed from when I first started.
When you first attempted to do the business plan, again, you know, it makes you really think about your business.
It really does.
And did you learn anything new? Or what did you learn about going through that process that surprised you and you're glad that you went through the process for?
One of the things that surprised me is I was mentioning we were only planning on working directly with customers. What I found though was in order to have some regular income coming in is that wholesale is very important, and we really do find that wholesale is important for our customers to be able to have that product. If we're not open one day and they can't get it from us that day, they can go to one of the stores locally and they can purchase it. And so we found that not only was it important for our customers to access our product easier, but it was also easier for us to have that regular income coming in from the stores. And so that was a really important thing that I didn't ever want to get into, but became extremely important for me to maintain that. And we're continuing to even grow even more with our wholesale side of the business. And so
now, who are you wholesaling to?
So we like to work with small stores because our product is very delicate.
Are there any more small stores anymore?
We work with a lot of mom and pop kind of stores.
How about restaurants? I would think that
we do work with some restaurants. We actually even work with a candy shop in Old Town. We work very closely with them. They purchase them from us in bulk, and they sell them to their customers.
Do they private label, or are they your label?
No, it's actually they just sell them by the cookie, and people are paying.
But do they know that they're yours, or they're?
No, they don't. They just put locally owned, and so people don't really know where they're coming from. But it's really nice that people are able to, when they go to Old Town, and most of the time it's tourists that are going to Old Town Albuquerque, they are getting to try a traditional Biscochito, which is very important to me. It's important that people are able to try our product that is actually a true and authentic Biscochito. Those are most of the places that purchase from us. We do have some restaurants locally as well that purchase from us for their customers, and then we do have some stores that carry our product all over Albuquerque, as well as Corrales, Los Lunas, Bernalillo.
Tell me about the competition. Is there any, Biscochitos obviously have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you're Hispanic, I mean, you know what a tamale is, you know what pozole is, and you know Biscochito. That's our part of our culture. And people are selling tamales, they're selling pozole. I mean, so it's hard for me to imagine that, or maybe they are. Tell me, is anybody else selling Biscochitos?
Yes, there are a few companies.
Like?
They're much bigger. They're on a larger scale because they're mass producing them for Walmart, Sam's Club, places like that. However, like I was saying, it's a completely different product, and so I don't even compare ours to theirs because it's a different product. It's not what I grew up with. It's not what a lot of New Mexicans grew up with. So to me, I consider it just a cookie. It's not a Biscochito. And actually, I find that out from a lot of my customers that all those ones being sold there, that's not a Biscochito. This is the way they should be sold. So it's very flattering for me that people find that our product is what they grew up with, and so that's very important to me that our tradition stays that way.
Now, how are you able to keep that local flavor and the traditional cookie and still grow on a larger scale? And is that going to be a challenge for you?
It is something that is going to be a new challenge for us, because as we grow, the way that we produce them, and because we hand cut every one of them, it is a little bit more time consuming compared to what other manufacturers of this product are doing. And I am currently in research of how can we find a machine that is not going to press them out like all of the other manufacturers do. And I have come across a machine, and so hopefully we'll have some kind of financing for that, you know, in the future and be able to do that. But it actually cuts out the cookie the way that I would prefer it to be cut. And we can produce probably about 3,000 cookies in an hour. So right now we've just hired 2 new employees. We have about 5 employees right now.
Is that right?
You know, so we're still pretty small, but we hand cut everyone. We use our dough sheeter, which is a big help because rolling out the cookies, rolling out the dough, that's the biggest challenge right there, is just getting it through that machine, which is our slowest process. But it's a lot faster than hand rolling them, hand rolling them all. So.
Okay. I'm going to switch tracks here. I'm going to ask you about the role of family plays in your business, because with Hispanics, you know, the core values are faith, family, and frijoles, which is culture. And you kind of are using all 3. You know, you have to have faith to go into business and to leave a career you had in real estate. So tell me, what role does family play in your business and in your life as a Latina entrepreneur?
Family is extremely important to me. I'm loving this business because I feel like I have something that is helping my family, and you know, as far as my husband, my son, you know, I feel like I have something to pass down to him now, you know, something that's special, and what he chooses to do with it is his choice.
Is your son involved in the business?
He's involved in a lot of the tasting.
How old is he?
He's 8.
Oh, okay.
So I always get to hear, Mama, can I have a Biscochito today, you know, or did you bring
he'll
any
always
home?
be honest with you, right?
Yeah, and he is. You know, I always try other people's Biscochitos when I find a new company that's come out. I have him try it because he's my honest kid, and I've only found one company where he said, "Oh, these ones are pretty close to yours," and I said, "I know. I hope they stay down there where they're
at."
Very
diplomatic, very close to yours.
Yeah. So, but they were good, and I have to say they were pretty good. But for the most part, no, these ones aren't any good. These aren't like yours, Mama. But for the most part, he gets to try a lot of our product. My husband plays a big role in the process. He's been very supportive of me doing this business and pursuing my dream, and so that's been wonderful.
And your mother helps you.
And my mom has been just amazing. I don't think that over the last year, with the growth that we've had, I don't think I would have been able to do it without her. We were a small company. It was just the 2 of us. At first it was my husband and I producing the product, and then my husband works a full-time job. So then my mom stepped in. She was retired, and she says, you know, I'll help you out. So she comes in, and even now
Does she have a salary?
She won't let me pay her. She refuses to let me pay her. She says this is something she wants to do. So at Christmas, or when we're at an event, an arts and crafts event, anytime she tells me there's something that she likes, I'm there. And I'm getting it for her because that's my way of trying to thank her for everything she's done for me, because I just don't know how to thank her for
well, the role of family is very strong.
Done so much.
Yeah, and that's one of the advantages that we have as our cultures, that the support that we get from our family. And you know, entrepreneurship is a challenging endeavor. It's not the easy path in life. But that role, that strong support structure of the family we have, I think is a definite advantage. And I think that's a big reason why nationally Hispanics are starting businesses at a rate 4 times faster than the population at large. And Latinas, if you're an Hispanic woman in America, you're 6 times more likely to start a business.
Yeah.
So you're part of that culture and that trend. So tell me about the entrepreneur path. What are the challenges that you've had to face or are facing, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest challenge is I was coming into a business I wasn't familiar with. Other than I know my product, I know how to make it. You know, accounting, that was not my expertise. You know, learning all of the permits.
I like that we said accounting.
Yes.
You know,
that's been a
legal and accounting entrepreneurs just.
Those are the biggest challenges I've had to face because.
Do you handle that in-house, or do you find that out? Or?
I tried handling it in-house at first, and as we've grown, now I'm handing everything over because it's something that I know I don't have the expertise for, and I don't want to make those mistakes, and I want to make sure that everything's handled correctly. So. And
also for entrepreneurs, you know, our business is our baby. If you create something out of, you know, your passion, it's not easy to delegate, is it?
No. That's the other challenge is managing.
Okay. Managing employees or just
managing employees. I've never been a boss before. I've been self-employed for over 15 years now, and I've never been a boss. And so that's a new challenge I'm facing, leaving my employees to produce my product because I'm doing marketing work or paperwork at my home office. That's been a big challenge because I have to trust who I have there producing the product the way that I would and taking the care with it that I would. So that's a big challenge. It was a very hard thing to do, to step away and say, okay,
trust somebody to
trust them to make it and to do it the way that I would do it. And
any surprises or everything going okay there?
So far, so good.
Okay.
They're doing a good job, just the challenges of having employees and having their respect and trying to walk that fine line of being a good manager and and not being disrespectful to them in turn.
Right.
So
yeah, that is a balance. And that's also challenging for entrepreneurs because one of our core values is freedom. The reason we go into business a lot of the times is we want the freedom to do our thing and have the time to do it. But yet, the more successful and the more your business grows, oftentimes the less freedom you have, isn't it?
Exactly. Right. And that's the new thing.
So then you need to start learning to delegate.
Yes, exactly. And that's been hard. And like you're saying, I mean, I was going through a period there where I was working so much, just consistently, and my husband was telling me, you have to find some time to step away. That's why you have employees. Right. So I'm learning to do that, and that's one of my newest challenges.
How many hours a week do you work still?
I don't know. It's probably close to 70, maybe 80. I don't know. I have maybe a few hours in between. When my son gets out of school, I spend some time with him, and once he goes to bed, I'm back upstairs on the computer working and doing more marketing and social media and trying to get all of that done.
And it's hard to. I do this for my business. It's hard to distinguish sometimes between am I working work or is this something that I'm just having fun doing? Sometimes doing research can be fun. It's work related, right?
Exactly, and that's part of it too. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and so it doesn't always feel like work. It's just okay. What more could I do? Or I haven't thought about this.
Right, and I think people who have the traditional 9-to-5 jobs, they really don't really get that about entrepreneurs. Do you take any vacations?
I will be here soon. I hope.
How you hope?
So, yeah.
When's the last time you took some time off? I mean.
I went camping earlier this year, I guess in May. So it's been a while. But vacation. It's been over a year. Okay. So yeah. So I'm hoping to take one here in October, right before our very busiest season comes up. So I get a little downtime before.
Right. We've got about a minute left, and I want to take that minute for you to share with us what advice would you give to anybody, an entrepreneur, any Latina out there that has a recipe or an idea for business, or Latino who wants to start their own business, or maybe make that shift from a regular job or sales into starting their own business? What advice would you give?
The biggest advice that I could give them is just that, just stay strong, stay persistent. Don't give up on it, because you can just keep thriving. And sometimes there's times that I want to give up because it can be frustrating at times. But I think, look how far I've come. Look how much I've done so far. And I just can't see giving it up at this point. So that would be my biggest advice, is to get through those obstacles. Anytime you have those obstacles, look at it as a learning experience. It's a learning experience, and you're definitely going to get through it, and just keep pushing forward. And so that would be what I would say.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your story of your American dream. I'm very excited about your business. You're doing great, and we look forward to sampling some of these Biscochitos a little later. So, Selena, thank you for joining us, and I'd like to thank our audience for joining us on American Dream Latin Souls. Be sure to visit us online at latinosuccess.com.